Greetings, dear viewers. I'm Coil Quickcard, and welcome to Diablo 2. Does anything about this screen look different to you? If you are someone who knows Diablo 2 well, you might notice something a little new. Because as of this morning, a new class has been made available in Diablo 2 for the first time since the original Lord of Destruction expansion. Say hello to the Warlock. He wields forbidden arts, bridles hellfire and shadow, and dominates demons. I have not seen what this guy can do. I haven't watched any of the trailers or anything like that. I did read that he apparently can hold two-handed weapons in one hand. But aside from that, I really don't know what the Warlock is able to do. And I'm looking forward to finding out. So, first thing we're going to do... There we go. I just want to make sure that the game difficulty is set to as if there were 8 players. I just want to gain experience very quickly so that I can actually appreciate some of these moves.
Oh, greetings, stranger. I'm not surprised to see your kind.
Yeah. We know, Wariv. We know how this goes. It looks like I start with Miasma Bolt. Fires a bolt of darkness that releases a cloud of entropy. Okay. So I am not going to read ahead on any of the skill trees. I am just going to read whatever skills are available on the tree I want to check out, and we're just going to play. So I'm actually starting out with, yeah, just a dagger floating in my hand. Hello. You're annoying. There we go. Ooh. Okay, so it creates a lingering effect. Okay. So is the explosion centered on where it hit, or is it an effect tied to the target? Well, no time to find out because we are leveling up. So first thing we're going to look at is the Chaos Tree. After that, we'll do a run. We'll just play up to like level 12 for each. So we'll do one on Chaos, one on Eldritch, one on Demon. So I guess Miasma Bolt. Doesn't look like the radius is going up from anything. But the damage is going up. Fair enough. Let's just see what we can do. Since I do only have one skill available to me in Chaos, I mean, I might as well just check out multiple, there we go. I might as well just check out multiple skill trees. Just to see what this guy can do. Get a little bit of a... Yeah, a little bit of appreciation for what the Warlock can bring to this. The enemies do have a crap load of health, just because, you know, I have it set on 8-player difficulty, but it's really not going to make a difference. There we go. We do have a ring, though. Ooh. 31% extra gold from monsters. That's pretty good. Alright, Den of Evil. Den of Evil.
Den of Evil.
Hello.
Let's roll the ball out. I need mana. Not enough
Yes, I am aware that you need mana. You're gonna be alright. Interesting. So they definitely do take damage inside of that radius. For Eldritch, we can have Levitation Mastery. Improve your ability to levitate your equipped weapon with your mind. Ooh. Okay, so it increases damage, attack rating, critical strike chance, and reduced weapon requirements. That is awesome. And we can also get a Hex. Hex Bane. Hex is your weapon to impair enemies and add magic damage. Let's go ahead with Levitation Mastery. Plus 40% damage to my weapons is pretty damn significant. Yeah. I know you guys have a lot of extra health. It's fine. Hello. Come on. Nice. Good number of gems already. Oh, a combat shrine. That's awesome. Hello. That'll help me make quick work of this. Ooh, a skull? Yeah, we're doing really good here. The attack animation is a little awkward, but I think that's kind of like the whole point with just how the Warlock has weapons that just, you know, hover in their hand. Hello. Got it? Alright, that's one shaman, two shaman. Alright. Let's get something from the demon tree. Summon the goat man. Okay, sure, I'll summon a goat man. That's pretty damn cool. That is really, really cool. So, we seem to be very much a generalist. We've got, like, apparently melee skills, ranged magic, and also summoning. Fascinating. Come on, goat man. We can all work together on this one. Ooh. Special gloves. That's pretty good. Jewel. Ring. Is the goat man just constantly teleporting around? Is he doing that because I'm moving, or is that actually a part of his move set? Some kind of, like, movement effect.
I can't carry
it. Sure, get rid of bolts and arrows. Cool. No, I think that is just the normal minion teleportation that he's doing. Okay. Oh, Scroll of Identify. Perfect. Let's check out these ones. Some real good gloves there. And a ring. Alright, we found Corpse Fire. Nope, Shaman first. There we go. Alright, come on, Goat Man. We're gonna work together on this one. These level-boosted zombies are going to be a bit tougher to kill. Once we have the Goat Man, we can make my demon stronger. That's a thing we can do. The Eldritch magic seems to be making pretty quick work of them fairly efficiently. Does have a cap, a Qatar. Come on. Ooh, another ring. Come on. Everybody gets to die to magic. Shaman. Come on. Gotcha. Another scroll. Already we have almost reached another level. Cool. Very interesting. And a bunch of gold. Honestly, I almost think it's kind of adorable the way the Warlock just stands there, vaguely stabbing things.
The evil of this place departs with me.
Cool. Alright. We're just going to try and spread our points around a little bit. See what all of our different options are. So I guess hexes your weapon to a pair enemies and add magic damage. Is that a buff for my weapon, or... No, it's definitely some kind of a skill. So that's like a buff I put on my weapon. Even at level 1, it's lasting over 2 minutes, which is nice. Very nice indeed. Okay, let's sell off some of this stuff. Sure. Go ahead and buy this stuff. More extra gold. That's good. That's good. So these are 4 defense, 1 to strength, 1 to dexterity. 1 to strength, 1 to dexterity, 19% enhanced defense. 18 to attack rating. Yeah, I'll go ahead and take the attack rating one. Still a better hat. Jewel, plus 6 to life, that's fine. Alright. I don't know why I bothered buying the Qatar, honestly. They're just really not worth it. Hardly ever. Buy some scrolls of identify. And activate Blood Raven. So, oh. Ooh. at this new storage system. Oh, I like that. Oh, that's cool. Okay. Well, out into the wilderness we go. Let's try out this new Bane power. Hold on. Alright, who wants to fight? Who wants to fight? Hello, Quill Rat. Throwing knives are always 480 gold. I believe that was chest armor. More throwing knives. Mana recharge, that's pretty damn good. Yeah, even with the boosted enemies, we've got a pretty good bit of damage output. Alright, let's move on. Pretty sure we'll get our next tier of abilities at the next level, so we can start seeing what those are all about. Ring of Fire releases a volley of expanding hellfire in all directions that pushes enemies away. And Sigil Lethargy. Lay a sigil on the ground that slows and weakens enemies. A 50% reduction in attack speed. Fascinating. Let's try this Ring of Fire. Is this like the one that Diablo uses? No, it's not quite the one that Diablo uses. This is actually a unique power. Fascinating. Okay. So you could sort of use that in conjunction with your melee skills to sort of keep the enemies at bay while also... Is the idea here that this is almost kind of like a, we've got plenty of stats here. Let's just drop a few. Is the idea with this that it's meant to be a little bit more of a glass cannon melee? Is that the idea of the hex weapon? Oh god, that is nice and efficient. Oh, that feels so good. Alright, well, off we go. Look at that. That's so satisfying. Does the range on that get any bigger? Not really, from what I can see. Cold Plains Waypoint. Alright. Let's go looking for the graves. I'm trying to remember how I have the hotkeys set up here, but it's been so long since I last played, I don't remember how I had it set. Ah. Okay, well, fire. Ooh, ring. Hello. Come on. Hey, you want to stop stabbing me? Look, let's make a deal. You stop stabbing me, I'll stop stabbing you, okay? Oh, Goatman's dead. Oh, no, Goatman wasn't dead. Alright. Cool. Come on, keep the stabby stabs going. Keep the stabby stabs going. Cool. That. Oh. That fight did not go well. Which would explain why there's a unique here. Oh, she's a spectral hit. She hurts like hell. Alright. That's another level up. Come on. Let's take the boss down. Got it. Okay. Dagger. Potions, 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 potions. New skill. So this is the sigil. Okay. So on top of reducing attack and run walk speed, it also decreases their defense and increases their damage taken. So when it listed the duration, is that just how long the sigil stays? Yes. Okay. So that's pretty strong. Even just 1 point in this is really good since it's percentage-based. But you would pretty much have to just constantly keep it reapplied, which is a little less good. Okay. Bish bosh. Let's go Hex and Sigil. Yeah, even at players set to 8, that combo of Hex and Sigil takes them out pretty damn fast. Yeah, and the Hex is also decreasing their defenses, so assuming that those are stacking the way I assume they would, that is really strong. I can never remember if this is Stony Field or Graveyard. That's Stony Field, okay. Not bad. Let's keep going. Poison Shrine. By now, we are pretty close to full. Ooh. Okay, daggers can have Warlock skills. Hold on. That's pretty good. That's actually really, really good. Hello, Akara. How are you doing? I got some stuff to sell you. There we go. Might as well hold on to those. Cool. Chelsea, if you would not mind, I am up against some pretty damn powerful opponents.
Hi there.
And anything you can do to contribute would be appreciated. Let's see. None of that's really too useful to me. You do have some better boots. Sure, I'll take the hat. And why not the buckler? Alright, back we go. So again, we are looking for the graveyard. And we need to do the Blood Raven quest. Oh, Scepter. Is it a good one? No. Nope. That Ring of Fire is pretty damn good. Come on, guys. I am glad... I'm always glad anytime I have a class with a minion. But it's not really... It's not really striking the usual minion itch that I get. Okay. But it could just be because, you know, I artificially have the difficulty cranked up, so we're not really getting a good sense of how effective the minions are. Still... Oh, here we go. This'll be the graveyard. Cool. Alright, Burial Grounds. We're going to reapply Hex.
Such poor servants.
And we're going to get ready for Sigils.
Join my army, dead.
And then a bunch of fire. Okay. Sigil. So this is another thing it is a bit less effective against, is when the enemies are running away. Nevertheless, I do think that the Sigil is probably one of the more efficient things I can do to handle tough fights like this. We did get a new skill. Let's try Cleave. Attacks all enemies in expanding arc. Okay. Let's give it a look. Oh. Oh, and that's still applying the Hex effect. Okay. Neat. Honestly, the Miasma Bolt might just be the best option here. Okay. Yeah, even this boosted boss takes a lot of damage from the combination of these. But yeah, against anything that's moving a lot, Sigil's going to be a fair bit more limited. That's not bad, though. Cool. Alright. I mean, that worked. Sweet. Well then. I guess let's keep going. Alright. So, at some point, as I was tapping buttons, I just kind of messed this up a little bit. I really do need to find my control binding a little bit better. Yeah. A, B, D, F. That's fine. Okay. So that did not actually save those, did it? There. Okay. So we're going to set our Hexbane to A. We're going to set our Sigil to B. We're going to set our Fire to D and our Miasma Bolt to F. Let me quickly cycle through the ones that I might want to use. Come on. There we go. It's a very interesting class. I look forward to finishing this bit of adventure and actually getting like a better, more proper look at what kind of things are deeper down on the skill trees. So, yeah. We're just going to play to level 12, and then we'll actually take a good deep look at the skill tree. But for the time being, honestly, I'm just having a lot of fun doing this. Yeah, those are not good weapons. Alright, we got crows. Oh. There we go. Take them out. Perfect. And did we get the last shaman? Yeah, I think we're good. Cool. More throwing knives. Oh! Okay, we got a unique here. Cool. Alright, let's stab her. Come on, come on. Some nice stabs. There we go. Throwing knife, rejuvenation potion, healing potion, daggers. That's fine. We can just keep going. There's my waypoint. Hello, Akara. I found a dagger. This is better armor, so... I mean, one more to Hex seems fine. I should definitely make sure that I get a belt before I leave town this time. Oh, hello. Yep, thanks for the follower. As far as gyms go... yeah, why not? And sure, some extra mana. This isn't a long-term character anyway, so
What you need?
no need to worry about being terribly efficient. Geed, you wouldn't happen to have one of the better belts, would you? No, you would not. Alright then, Charcy, I will take your finest belt. Wow. Okay, all your belts suck. And did you have anything else interesting or useful? Not really. Alright. Back we go. Oh. I think my demon went away. Here we go. Alright, Stony Field. Let's roll.
I need a key.
Yes, I'm sure you do, but I do not have any keys right now. Oh, Moldy Tome. You know, actually, if I could get to the Black Marsh and go up against the Countess. Countess is always such a good farming spot. I also see the stones up here. Hello. Oh dear God. Come on. Alright, one carver down. Come on. Refill. Come on, Rockinishu. Oh dear God. Come on, Rockinishu. Got him. Leather armor. Chipped ruby. A little bit of gold. Alright, new skills. So, what do we have in the demon field? We've got Blood Oath. Bind the life force of your demon to protect from enemy attacks. So, at the very first level, my demon's life is increased by 50%. Their resist all goes up by 14%. Physical damage to the demon is reduced by 2%, and 5% of damage taken goes to the demon. And Death Mark forces your demon to teleport to and attack an enemy. Let's go ahead and take that Blood Oath. God damn it, level 2 gets a 1 in 20 chance of a crushing blow. That is really good. Well, I know where the cairnstones are, so that's pretty good. And here is the underground passage. Cool. Again, the reminder, it is set to a player count 8, so the enemies are massively more durable than they would be in standard gameplay. This is purely so that I can level up as quickly as possible and show off new stuff from the Warlock in a very quick and efficient way. Oh dear God. Yeah, that's... Oh my god. Oh, this is not going well. Come on. Come on. We got a lot of baddies here. Oh, God. We've got more than one unique here as well. Holy crap. Okay, my demon's dead. Goatman! Come on. Oh my god. Oh my god. 2 unique monsters back to back, both of them cold enchanted. That is nuts. Let's try to get out of here. Looks like the only way is up here. Okay, yeah, can we... Woo, boy.
Yes?
That sucked. Unfortunately, with boosted... Ooh. Yeah, that's fine. I probably wouldn't make that trade if I wasn't doing this as just a real short-term character. Alright, heading back. Honestly, we might have their numbers whittled down enough now that we can actually make a proper dent in them. Come on. There we good? Okay. So the next ability, Death Marks, forces your demon. Okay, sure. Death Mark. Why not? Death Mark, you're on F now. Cool. So, Death Mark plus Sigil. Yep, that's pretty damn strong. Cool. Let's go. Come on, take out the misshapen. Cool. Come on. Got him. That sucked. That really sucked. So, we can Hex to increase my attack. We can Sigil to make enemies weaker. We can Death Mark to have my demons move in order to attack the things that have been debuffed. That all seems pretty damn good. I think ending the Tristram parts will be a good place to end all this, because we're at level 10 now. Surely we can get to... surely we can get through the Tristram stuff and hit level 10. Or level 12. Okay, come on. I will be open with the fact that I've never really played Diablo 2 all that much deeper than Nightmare difficulty. I've never made it to Hell difficulty. I've never experienced any of, like, the, Hell exclusive content that was added in Diablo 2 Resurrected. So I'm definitely not, like, a definitive authority on any of this stuff. What I can say is that I like playing Diablo 2 casually, and that from a purely casual perspective, this is a lot of fun. I mean, the fire thing alone is so satisfying. And it's really neat having, like, a melee class that is less focused on boosting the amount of damage you deal in a hit, like increasing your number, and more focused on trying to reduce the enemy's number, particularly their defenses. It's a really cool class. I'm having a great time with it. I will definitely be playing this just more on my casual free time. But I really wanted to get my my first, reactions to this recorded. Yeah, that's fine. Fine. Honestly, Akara, if you want to just go ahead and top me off real quick. Cool. Wait, I'm sorry, what was on that thing? Oh. It is really interesting that dagger class weapons now can contain class boosting skills. Oh, I heard a gem. Don't think for a second that I can't pick out the sound of a gem falling in this game. That is burned into my mind indefinitely. So what we need is to find the tree. The tree where I will undoubtedly have a very negative experience trying to fight against a boss. I do have a crap load of skill points here. There we go. Just spread them out a little haphazardly. Not usually something that you want to be doing, but no reason not to. And it's Plague White the Cold, who is extra fast. And Plague White is now extra dead. Cool. By the way, if you're ever interested in playing with boosted XP too, you just enter the tab and then you just type /players and then however many players you want. The minimum scaling is 1 and the maximum scaling that I've been playing on is 8. So this can let you do single player experience, but with maximum boosted XP and enemy difficulty. Okay, here we go. We see the bosses. So the first thing we want to do is take out the minions. Come on. Honestly, what if I used just cleave? Seems to be a bit unnecessary. Alright, there's Wood Fist. There we go. Come on. Get the brute. Teleport and kill. Cool. There we go. Sigil down. And Treehead Woodfist has been slain. Old book. Warlock only. Really?
Such an old tree. Pity its fruits are just this scrub.
Alright. Let's actually take a look at that. Seems kind of fun. Oh! It adds fire damage. Really? Okay. We also hit our next level, so we're ready for our next power. I'm going to be honest, the Ring of Fire is absolutely awesome. Easily my favorite skill at this point. It's strong, it's satisfying. There we go. Alright. Oh, champions. Hello. Pleasure to see you. Hope you don't mind, but I have other places to be. So you can get books that add damage to your weapons. That is really cool. Alright, so what's the order? Okay. Yeah, I'm sure I can remember that. Stonyfield. Boy, Grindelwald's going to take a fair bit of time to kill. That dude can take a beating even without anything boosting him. There we go. Diablo 2 Resurrected looks so good. I actually want to see here. What was the button that changes the graphics? Legacy toggle is supposed to be G. Okay. So it does not seem to be available, which is honestly not surprising. The Warlock is a completely new thing for Diablo 2 as Resurrected. I'm not really surprised or disappointed that it doesn't have like a visual mode available for whoa, okay. I'm not surprised that it doesn't have a visual mode available for Classic. That's fine. Jeez! Okay, I'm dying. Cool. There, does this help? There. Am I a helper? Well, I'm now level 12. Sure, you just keep beating up on him. Maybe I'll see if something that can help. Sigil, Rancor, Miasma Chain. I am dying. A Tainted. Okay, maybe a Tainted will work better for me. Let's find out. Go! Come on.
The Order welcomes
Whoo, boy. Cool. Alright, come on, Tainted.
Hello.
And come on, minion. We're gonna all do our best. God, that hurts. Yikes. Alright, let's get our stuff. That's fine. Sure, why not? That looks like a perfectly good thing. Oh, there he is. Alright. Alright, Griswold. We're just gonna try to keep the sigil up. Okay. Uh-huh. More sigils. The minions are very effective at tanking. Okay, Griswold's dead. Cool. Alright, new plan. There we go, just spam a bunch of that. Yoink. Alright, we killed a guy. We're heroes. Alright, come on, Deckard Cain. Let's get out of here. And retreat. Okay, cool. So, I think that works for just an initial look at the Warlock. So now that that's done, let's actually close out this episode by taking like a good proper look at the skill trees. So first we have our Chaos Magic. We saw the Miasma Bolt. Creates a small lingering damage field, which is honestly not that great, but seems perfectly fitting for an early game spell. It'll definitely be more effective than it looked for me, and I still thought it looked pretty effective. Looks like everything basically helps to boost its damage. Going down this, starting at 12, you can get the Miasma Chain. Summons shadowy chains that emit a suffocating miasma between you and the target. So, creates a chains of miasma between you and the target. Okay, so this again is to create a damaging area effect that lasts for a little while. Enhanced Entropy improves your mastery over the entropic forces of shadow magic. So it increases... Okay, so this increases your radius and your duration of miasma magic. And then finally is Abyss. Create a tear in the fabric of reality which pulls enemies close before violently collapsing. So it sounds like you summon a black hole. I guess damaging lasts 2 seconds. It has a casting delay, a decent radius. So this just seems like it's, from what I'm reading, it sounds like it's basically creating like a delayed blast black hole damage area. That's interesting. Alright, so next let's look at, I assume these are all sigils. The Lethargy Sigil, like we saw, increases enemies' damage taken, decreases their defenses, decreases their attack speeds, and their running and walking speeds. Even at first level, this is very, very good. Sigil Rancor. Lay a sigil on the ground that enrages those who enter and has a chance for enemies to attack one another. Okay, so this Okay, so this is like a limited area confusion attack. And I would assume that the increased damage and attack speed is only applying to those that are being enraged by this. Otherwise, this is just straight up buff your enemies. That could be pretty interesting. Sigil Death. Lay a sigil on the ground that hastens the death of injured enemies in a violent explosion. Fire explosion damage 70 to 120% of slain enemies' health. Slays enemies with less than 13% health. I'm sorry, is this a corpse explosion sigil? Seriously. So anything with less than 13% health just dies and instant corpse explodes? That's insane. Ring of Fire, we already saw. It's absolutely fantastic. I love that. Flame Wave unleashes a rolling wall of fire that burns the ground in its wake. Okay, a rolling wall of fire. So this is probably more like Diablo's like flame explosion type thing. Interesting. 30-second duration, width of 9 yards, so it does cover a pretty large area. And then if you go down both the fire and the sigils, you can unlock Apocalypse. Create a pentagram that engulfs all enemies in hellfire. Reduces enemy fire resistance for Apocalypse's damage. Well, it has a casting delay of almost 2 seconds. Reduces enemies resist fire large radius with 13 yards. And it does do a crap load of fire damage. So that is pretty interesting. I don't know how well that would do in later difficulties where enemies start gaining increasing immunities. Continuously speccing into a single element of damage can be a hindrance, but that looks really fun. Let's take a look at the Eldritch stuff. So first over here we have Hexbane. This is the one that increases my attack rating, gives some extra magic damage. When it hexes the enemy, reduces their attack rating and their defenses, which is pretty impressive. Eldritch Blast actually makes it last longer. The passive bonuses it's receiving look pretty damn high, too. We've got Hex Purge. Hex is your weapon to warp enemies, creating a chance they will erupt when hit. So at level 1, it gives them a 69% chance to erupt. Nice. The hex is removed after one explosion. Okay. So it hexes your weapon. It's a buff for your weapon, but it will wear off as soon as you blow up an enemy. The hex duration is 6 seconds. So when you hit an enemy, the effect for potential exploding will be active for 6 seconds. Within a range of 4 yards. And at the first level, it's increasing your attack rating and your attack speed along with a magic explosion damage. That is interesting. Or no, is it saying that the buff still stays on you after the explosion, but the enemy has to have the hex reapplied? That would make a lot more sense. Okay. So instead of having just additional damage on every single hit, enemies when hit have a chance to erupt, creating a larger single burst of damage. But after they receive that, the hex has to be reapplied. But the hex itself is still a buff that's active for over 2 minutes just at first level. That's pretty cool. That's interesting. And finally, Hex Siphon. Hex is your weapon to extract the life force of slain enemies. So enemy damage minus 33%. Okay. Increases your attack rating, gives you mana and life after every kill. And if you've put points into Engorge, which I don't know where that is. +1 life and mana after kill. Okay. So if you built this properly, you could probably stay alive almost indefinitely against groups of enemies by relying on this. Next up, we have the Levitation Mastery, which improves your levitating weapon. Going further down the line, we've got Echoing Strike. Create echoes of your melee weapon that pierce through enemies. Okay. So with enough points into stuff, you can increase the number of weapon echoes. The echo itself deals 75% of your weapon damage at base. And at the first level, it's still doing extra... on top of that, it's doing extra damage, extra attack rating. Interesting. Blade Warp. Hurl an astral weapon that teleports you to its impact. Oh, okay. So this is a teleport. This is a targeted teleport and damage. That is pretty interesting. It's probably going to be more practical as the teleport than as the damage. And then over here we have Cleave, where we just sort of went woo, 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 just sort of hitting in a little sweep in front of us. Oh, I guess if you put points into this, you could increase the arc of the Cleave. That's interesting. That leads to Psychic Ward. Creates a mental shield that absorbs damage from attacks and can stun melee attackers. So you're creating a shield with a fixed amount of life that it can absorb, and also can stun enemies, and points in your other abilities really, really quickly can ramp up the amount of damage it can absorb. That's interesting. But it does only work against melee attackers. Eldritch Blast. Blast hexed enemies with draining magical damage and refresh the duration of their active hex. Okay. So it's a cheap ability. It does some damage. It's also got life and mana steal. It ramps up its damage and its duration fast as hell. That is interesting. When it says duration 40, I'm like, is that saying that it will increase the duration of the hex on the enemy up to that? Because the hexes are supposed to last only a few seconds. If this is actually saying it'll just hex... It'll refresh an enemy's hex for 40 seconds, that's insane. If that's not what it's saying, though, then I don't really know what the duration 40 seconds actually means here. But anyway, if you go down all those paths, you can get Mirrored Blades. Attack with mirrored duplicates of your weapon. Okay. Interesting. So this is just making copies of your weapon to attack enemies with. With these two, I feel like I would really have to see them in action in order to really properly appreciate their potential. Moving on. There is something I want to look at relevant to the Eldritch Tree before I take a look at the demon thing. We're just going to throw a bunch of points into strength here. I believe I read that they can equip a two-handed sword in one hand. That this was just like a feature that they possessed. Yes, that does appear to be the case. So, Warlocks are able to one-hand, two-handed weapons. Is that only something with swords, though? Or will that work with any two-handed weapon? Nope. Okay, so they can one-hand any two-handed weapon to work with their Eldritch boosts. That's interesting. Okay, and lastly, let's look at the demon tree. We started with the summon the goat man. So, you know, he gets chances of crushing blows, seems like a basic melee attacker. Then we can get the tainted. Looks like they've got good fire resistance and lots of fire elemental damage. The Defiler is, after that, summons a Defiler that binds enemy souls together to take shared damage. Damage shared between bound targets. Okay. So, this one can basically link enemies together so that linked enemies are taking additional damage whenever the other one is taking damage. That's interesting. And finally, we'll get to the Bind Demon. But over here we have Demonic Mastery. Enhances your summoned and bound demons. I'm guessing with enough points in here, you can increase the number of demons, since it does have a section for max demons. Then, going down this thing, we've got the Blood Oath, which is... yeah, this is just sort of like a damage reduction and damage sharing for you and the demon, as well as a flat increase for the demon's life. And then Consume. Sacrifice your demon in exchange for power. So, bonus from Tainted. Does that have a different effect if it's the Goat Man? Yes. Okay. So it looks like the special power that you're getting from your demon, you're able to gain that for a period of time, along with various buffs. So that's interesting. It's like just a big boost to your abilities. Once you've learned how to summon, you also get the Death Mark, which, again, increases damage dealt to the enemies, decreases their defenses. Just a nice way to increase the damage that you're putting out. After that, Blood Boil. Erupt your demon's blood to damage nearby enemies. So I'm guessing that you're basically creating an area of effect that is centered on your demon. So that's actually pretty neat. I do really like being able to generate an AoE that is centered on a point other than myself. So that's always good. And Engorge, heal and empower your demon by feeding it a corpse. So it's replenish life plus 5, defense plus 25, physical damage to your demon reduced by 5. It also can give... It gives it 15% life steal and heal the demon's life 30% and increase attack speed for a short period of time. Very cheap, good way to keep your demon on the front line. And if you've mastered all of that, you can get Bind Demon, force an injured demon to do your bidding. Okay, so this just seems to be like kind of a version of the Necromancer's reanimation. And increased damage percent, increased damage base, as well as the chance to bind, and so on and so forth. Alright, so that is our look at the new Diablo 2 class, the Warlock. I am going to play around with this for a bit. I imagine that there's a lot of really cool stuff that you can do with this. I cannot wait to find out. And I will see you all on the next one.